Joining me now from Haifa is the human rights lawyer Hassan Jabareen. Welcome to the NewsHour, Hassan. I just want your take on how you see this moment that Gaza is in right now. Do you think there's an illusion that life in Gaza is better because there's talk of a second ceasefire phase, less people are being killed by Israel? We're not reporting that hundreds are being killed every day, like over the past 2 years. The last remains of the Israeli hostage were given back this week. Is this a dangerous moment for the world to think that things are better in Gaza right now?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Good evening. Yes, it's very, very dangerous because now the people in Gaza in very, very critical moments. We are in the winter. We are in very, very bad weather. The people don't have their houses. The people need medical access. The people need doctors to enter. The people need nurses and professional nurses to enter. And also, they need humanitarian aid. Now, to enter the second phase is the entering the other stage of the ceasefire, which means starting to construct Gaza and to start mainly to help the public, to help the people, to give them their humanitarian aid in very routine way. Now, closing the border and not to let Rafah be open, it's very, very problematic to the people. Second phase is about, first of all, opening Rafah point. Now, why Rafah point is delayed now? Rafah point is delayed because there is strong political divide inside Israel among the right wing group, the camp of Netanyahu, saying and claiming that in fact we, the right wing of Israel, lost the war if we don't control Rafah. If we don't control Rafah, that means we don't control Gaza. Why? Because in fact, controlling Rafah is about controlling the main axis to Gaza. And Israel and
Hassan,
Netanyahu, they don't
we often
want.
hear, sorry to interrupt, we often hear that whoever controls the Rafah border crossing controls all of Gaza. How much longer do you think Netanyahu can delay the reopening of the Rafah crossing?
Now it's really depends on President Trump, and depends on also the parties, the Arab political parties, and the Arab states, and of course the EU, that they are part of dealing with a second phase. Now we can say that this is a theme that compromise between the US and Israel, because Netanyahu had speech yesterday, and in his speech said, we won't allow Rafah to be open as long as Hamas is not disarmed. So now to disarm Hamas, you can start the process, but you don't know when you will end it. There is no indicators that you can say, here we succeeded to disarm Hamas. That means that Netanyahu want to control Rafah border. And US and Trump and the other group, they want to control it and to move to second phase. Because if they don't move to the second phase, that means that all Trump plan is failed. Now, I think this will be delayed to some time. And by the delaying, they will give Netanyahu something that here he said yesterday in his speech, I won't allow to be open. So he succeeded. He had the delay, but it must be open. It must
But
be open
Hassan, if you
because
look at,
without opening it,
sorry to interrupt, if you
yes.
look at our news right now, look at Donald Trump, he's busy. His eye is on possibly an attack on Iran. Possibly Israel is involved as well. So,
Yeah, this
clearly we're
is
looking
good
at an
question.
even
This is good.
longer delay for the Rafah crossing.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good point, and I think that he knows now that also Israel is busy with the future war, the very soon war, if it happened between US and Iran. But still, they cannot forever they cannot last it for a very long time. And when we speak about long time, it cannot be closed more than 1 month. And they have to reach compromise. Maybe Netanyahu will ask that Israel will have some control on the entrance of Rafah. To note that Netanyahu and Israel has no problem that the people will leave Gaza via Rafah, but they don't want the people of Gaza to enter via Rafah. And Egypt has the opposite. Egypt wants the people to enter Gaza, but not to allow the people of Gaza to leave Gaza to Egypt, because they have their issues and security issues by opening freely the Egypt to Gaza from their point of view. And thus we have two contradictory positions. Israel on one hand want the people to leave and not to enter. Egypt has the opposite. And the plans say that Egypt must control with the Palestinians, with other groups, but not Israel, the Rafah point. And that's mean controlling Rafah point, not just also about the moving of the population. It's about letting the foreign press to enter, which until now Israel prohibited them. That's mean also to let 37 international NGOs, humanitarian NGOs, UN groups also to enter, which Israel until now prohibit that. That's mean also to open Rafah. That's mean to let the Palestinian Technical Governance Committee to enter, which Israel until now prohibit this committee to enter. Meaning opening Rafah is the collapse of all Netanyahu political and militaristic strategy. This, in fact, what the Israel right wing and Netanyahu camp saying. This is why he is in very, very serious pressure. Now it depends how he will use his power vis-a-vis US, vis-a-vis the EU, vis-a-vis the other Arab states. I think that also he is in very weak point, because the plan should go forward. But you are right, there is delay also, because not delay, be like US might agree for the delay because they are busy with Iran. So many of the questions
Another
still
distraction,
depends
Hassan.
on, yes, yes. Many things
Hassan, we'll
depends
leave it
on
there.
what only.
We'll leave it there. Thank you very
Okay.
much indeed. Human rights lawyer Hassan Jabareen, always a pleasure to speak to you here on TRT World. Thank you very much.